Okay, my name is Mark, or Mookie if you prefer, from the independent 88.5 FM here in Southern California. We're doing another 88.5 live at home session, which is a performance and interview with Alex the Astronaut, who's on the other screen over there. How are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Under the circumstances, I could see that your studio today also doubles as your bedroom, and same
Yep.
thing for me.
Yeah, multitasking rooms.
Yeah, no kidding. Do you have a proper studio, maybe where the demos get put together, or is that where the magic happens?
I don't have a proper studio. This is it. And this computer is the thing. So you can't really see. You're seeing more the sleeping side, and then this side has there's drums just there, electric drums, because otherwise my roommates would really hate me by now.
Yeah.
And then there's a little piano-y thing here.
So it's safe to say that you are, in fact, what you might call a multi-instrumentalist. Do you have a go-to instrument when it's time to sort of sit down and start to write a song?
Yeah, like I learnt on guitar. So that's kind of my thing that I'm still not very good at it, but I always go back to. And then I love the piano as well. But my favorite new thing is the drums. I've been learning the drums for about a year and a half, I think now.
Nice.
And it's just the best. It's so fun. It's so
Um,
distracting.
I
I used to get
recently
bad.
saw something that you did for Triple J, a radio station out in Australia, which we have our eyes on, and we see their content that they're creating from time to time. You performed a version of "I Think You're Great," and you got a great drummer in the band. It appears. Also, you covered
Yeah,
for Triple
really.
J. You covered an ELO song,
Yep.
which was surprising to me. Do you have an affinity for that band, Jeff Lynne's ELO?
Not really. I only really knew that song growing up. Like, I think my parents used to play it a lot, maybe. It was strange because when we got to choosing which song I would do, or when I started like putting ideas forward, everyone was kind of like, how do you know this song? And I was like, oh, I thought it was just like one of the most biggest, I don't know. I think because maybe I saw it in movies growing up, I just always thought it was like a massive, it is a massive song, but like it skips some people. Some people just were like, I've never heard this song in my whole life. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's a funny
I
one.
never knew about ELO until I arrived here at the station, and oh my goodness, what an incredible band, and like
Yeah,
epic live shows and everything.
I've
Um,
never seen them live. Actually, that's a lie. Well, not actually in real life, but I remember on a plane they had their Glastonbury set, like as a one of the plane shows, and
right.
like I was on going to Perth or something, so it's like a 6 hour flight. So I watched like them and a bunch of other random bands, but I never knew they were called ELO. That was like the other thing. It was like one of those songs that existed in my brain but had
Yeah.
no context. So yeah.
I've never been on a flight where they offer in-flight concerts. I think that's a
It was
fantastic
sick.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been some time since I was on an airplane. AlexTheAstronaut.com is, in fact, the website. There's a lot of content on there as well. Congratulations on the new record. It's been called the debut record, The Theory of Absolutely Nothing. But this ain't your first rodeo, from what I understand. There's some music floating around there that people could probably get their hands on now. Some former EPs like To Whom It May Concern and See You Soon.
Yep.
Some of the previous content that you've released, did that end up on the full length, or is it all new material for this new LP?
It was all new. Yeah. I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to write a proper album, so we did that.
Well, so far so good. I think the past couple of weeks, the number one most spun song on our radio station here in Southern California was "I Think You're Great."
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, thank
No, it's
you.
amazing, and we've been getting some really great feedback. It's just a great, as you referred to off the air, a great radio song. And again, we're happy to introduce our listeners to an artist like you. You're in Australia right now. There's a bit of a time change as we're doing this interview. It's 4:30 in the afternoon our time, which is about 9:30 a.m. your time, right?
Correct.
Yeah, this is not the first time we've done this. Early on, when we started these virtual interviews, I sat down with the artist Mallrat from
Oh yeah.
Australia, and we did a recent one with Toots Hibbert from Toots and the Maytals before he passed away recently. He was in Jamaica, which was cool. To have an artist from Jamaica on the other side of the screen is amazing.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, it's cool. So we are going to get some live music, and I feel like we should pause right now for that, and then we'll come back and have a more of a chit chat about some other things. So what's the first song that we're going to hear from Alex the Astronaut?
First song we're gonna hear is "I Think You're Great."
Fantastic. And you heard
Yeah.
it first on 88.5 FM.
Have you been playing your guitar much lately? You don't get to see the sky too much of the time you're inside. 9 till 5 now, and I heard you got arrested for being young and restless. Nowadays I laugh a little less, and I ask, are you okay? And I won't judge you either way. I wanna say that I think you're great. Your voice starts to break. You say everything's changing, it's all complicated. Movers and shakers, the unending race. I feel like I'm fading. You don't always have to smile. You don't only have to cry at night. When tears stain your face, you know, feeling brave, I'll be there again and again, 'cause I think you're great. Have I been holding on to too much hate? Oh, there's so much going on. You said love and patience, that's the way to change things. When I get lost and stressed or obsessed and second guessing, nowadays I laugh a little less, and you ask, am I okay? And you don't judge me either way. I wanna say that I think you're great. Your voice starts to break. You say everything's changing, it's all complicated. Movers and shakers, the unending race. I feel like I'm fading, but you don't always have to smile. You don't only have to cry at night. When tears stain your face, you know, feeling brave, I'll be there again and again, 'cause I think you're do-do-do-do-do-do. 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 I wanna say that I think you're great. Your voice starts to break. You say everything's changing, it's all complicated. Movers and shakers, the unending race. I feel like I'm fading, but you don't always have to smile. You don't only have to cry at night. When tears stain your face, you know, feeling brave, I'll be there again and again, 'cause I think you're great. You're great. Please go.
All right, there you go. There's our very own version of "I Think You're Great." Alex the Astronaut is, in fact, the artist. She's on the Zoom screen with us right now for what we call an 88.5 live at-home session. You are no stranger to the United States, from what I understand. You have spent some time here, correct?
I've been there, yeah. I went to uni there. I did 3 years at Long Island University.
And what was the field that you sort of were studying that you wanted to get into?
I wanted to do medicine, but then I realized I hated blood. and so that wasn't going to work out. And so I started, I did a physics class in my first year, like with the liberal arts thing. And then I just really liked it. I really liked my teacher. So then I went down that string, which was like a maths and physics major.
That's insane. And at what point did you decide to basically do music full time?
I didn't really decide. I kind of like was playing shows from when I was like 17 and recording stuff, but I was really bad. And then when I got over to New York, I like sent all these emails out to people to be like, can I come and play at your venue? And they'd be like, no, no, you can't. And I'm like, okay. And then I got like a couple of like, it was like big wins for me were like playing like the bitter end, which was to like 5 people on a Sunday afternoon for 15 minutes. And then like I guess around that time, I was just kind of getting my confidence up and starting to record a bit. And I started working with an Australian producer to make like some real songs. And then, yeah, I'd been emailing people for a while, just asking them about music and how it worked and how I do it. And I was lucky enough to kind of come home, and I got in contact with some people that I'd spoken to when I was 16 who became my management, and then songs got on radio, and it all kind of just happened. And then I was in my senior year of school, so I finished and came home and had this as a job. So I was like one of the lucky ones. I just didn't, all my friends at the end of college were like having this big existential crisis, and I was like sent on tour to do my dream job, which was pretty stressful to go straight into after school and like being in that really supportive environment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good timing wise.
You might think that studying physics is completely different than music, although, I mean, I would maybe guess that maybe a particular part of your brain that works with math and physics is the same for music, you know, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Yeah, well, I've been told that before. I think it's like more classical music. Like I think that works. Like I from the feeling of it, it's like 2 different sports. Like
Yeah.
it's, I think a bit of the maybe the problem solving part, like for me when like I'm doing lyrics and I've got to fit 10 syllables in one sentence, and I always try and fit way too many words into like small spaces just to make myself a little bit more stressed, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, so like I know that if I have 3 more syllables, I've got to fit 3 syllables that get across the idea that I'm thinking of. And that's kind of similar to when, you know, you have a maths equation or a physics equation and you know what you have to do to get it done, but you haven't quite worked it out. But I remember no physics stuff. That's another funny thing. Like I graduated 2 years ago or something, and my brain is just like blocked all of it out. Like it's actually a bit scary. I like,
Is it almost like if you don't use it, you lose it type of thing, where you just have to keep it up, almost like a language?
It completely. And like it's definitely a language. There's some words in there that I don't know. And yeah, and sometimes like in an interview like a month ago or something, the guy was like a physics something or other, and he started asking me all these questions, and I got like flashbacks to when I'd be like in exams and they'd be asking me questions and I'd be like,
oh boy. Oh boy.
so,
Yeah. I was thinking that like patterns of things and mathematical equations might relate to music in some way, although the sort of creative writing and poetry aspect of it uses an entire side of your brain that is completely different. Talking about terms in a language, what is Minkowski Records? Is that your own label?
Yeah, so that's one of those fun words that I always forget.
What is Minkowski? If you remember.
Is a graph. And
It's a physics term.
Going to watch this and they're going to be like, no, but it's a way of mapping time, space,
Mm-hmm.
space time, shit.
Incredible.
Space-time, and like you can plot someone's life on a Minkowski graph. So I thought that was pretty cool and poetic and recorded
Wow.
Minkowski records.
Yeah, that's incredible. So it's your own label. Do you feel like you had to jump right in and sort of understand how to become an entrepreneur with not only becoming, being an artist, but also like, oh, I'm going to start my own business and start a record label?
I actually do nothing in the record label. I came up with the name, and that's about it. Like, I'm
Have you
just
taken anybody else under your wing as an artist to sort of foster under the label, or we're not quite there yet?
It's like in Australia or for the world, I was signed with Cobalt, so they had like a label services deal where I could
Right.
have my own label, but it's not really my own label. But it sounds really cool and makes people think I do heaps of stuff, but I actually don't do any of it.
This is Alex the Astronaut here on the Independent 88.5 FM. AlexTheAstronaut.com is the website. I've been telling people there are no live shows to purchase tickets to anymore, but if you go to an artist's website and buy the merch, the records, the T-shirts, the socks, or whatever, it's not much, but a little bit goes a long way. The Theory of Absolutely Nothing is the title of the new record. It's been said that you have tried to, quote, capture the human experience. Is this record sort of autobiographical through and through for you? Does it kind of tell a coming of age story? For
sure.
Yeah.
And I think I've done a few, like I've kind of thought about it a bit, and like I think all of the music that I've written is like weirdly coming of age. And I wonder if I'm going to get to like 80 and still be writing like, oh, this is just me growing up again. But yeah, it is. And I think, every song, like some of them aren't about me, but they have aspects of me in them. And I think that always happens when you're writing a song. You can always kind of find bits of the songwriter, even if they're writing about something else in it.
Right.
But yeah,
so what's some of the subject matter that you could tell us at least that ends up on the album?
Just a whole range of stuff. I don't know. I think I have to listen. It's hard. I think it's hard. Like, it's really like a strange thing as a songwriter, I think, to describe the subjects of your song.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, I don't know, like, when you try and tell a joke to someone like secondhand, it's just not funny. It's kind of the same feeling where you're just like, wow.
I totally understand. Now I feel bad for asking that question. It's
No.
It's almost like, hey, you're a radio DJ. What cool songs are out right now? Type of thing. Yeah. Or, hey, you're a comedian. Tell me a joke type of thing. Yeah. But I think it is so interesting that, you talk about the human experience and songs you have written that sort of relate to your life and your perspective. You could have 100 people listen to the same song and maybe feel the same way or quite differently about a song, and music sort of touches people in different ways. Or you could have 100 people listen to the album and they could all take away something different. It's really fascinating and crazy. You have adapted a little bit, it seems like, with doing some streaming and online performances. I saw one of those was a live stream for, was it the Smithsonian Pride?
Yeah, that was cool.
And are you doing some of your own stuff on your own social media platforms?
I did like a couple of them at the start. Like, it's just so weird. Like, I think the strangest thing is like when you finish playing the song live and you're just kind of in a room in quiet and like, people are watching because you can see the little number on the thing, but it's still just so weird, and you're just like, did anyone think that was good? Was that kind of bad? Do we have any feedback? Like, you can't get a feel for like the room because it's just you in the room. And like, yeah, I think it's probably the most nervous I've been as an artist. Like, I've played in front of lots of people, and I think it's way worse to be alone in a room.
It's like some of these late night shows or comedy shows telling jokes in front of no audience. Like, it doesn't really hit as it normally would. No. But it sounds like early on in your musical endeavors, you knew about the importance of playing live. talking about cold calling venues and getting in, in there in coffee shops and stuff to play for just a handful of people. Is that some advice you would give to a musician who's just kind of starting out? Is not necessarily say yes to every gig, but get out there and play live?
Oh, for sure. I did like all the little songwriting nights. I did like this one thing in Sydney. I can't remember what it's called, but we have this, I think it's still on, where they like kind of rope you in to, it's like a pyramid scheme. Like you sell tickets to your friends, and then your friends have to sell tickets to their friends. And like it's trying to get, and then you don't get paid. So I did like lots of those things where it was just like random little gigs in random little pubs or venues or whatever. And there'd be like 10 people there or less. And it makes you get so much better so quick. Like I was so awkward. I couldn't talk on stage for years. And like, but like it was funny, like I found like when I learned the most was when I'd go to a gig and everything would go wrong. I would drop my pick, forget the words, drop my guitar, just like all my friends were meant to come and none of them showed up. And like, it's just like the inner performer kind of comes out and you're like, okay, well, the show must go on. And then, yeah, I think that taught me so much. And I also it's just great life skills. Like everything can go wrong on stage and you still walk off and you're still here and it's all fine. And you're embarrassed or something for like an hour and then you get over it and you're just like, okay, again.
Yeah.
And like, I think that for me, the resilience that I learned from that was, next level.
I'd like to think that not many people can do that, to do what you do. So just go up there and sort of own it and know that most people wouldn't even know how to function up on stage,
But you just learn, like you just do, like, because you have no choice, absolutely no choice. You can't leave. Like,
what were the factors that made you really power through those type of gigs and keep booking yourself to do that? Was it just something within you that knew you couldn't live without music or performing music?
I think so, like in a really easy way. Like music was something that I learned, like I think I started learning to write when I was about 14, maybe 15. And it became my way of like understanding the world. Like for me, it was like, food, water, socializing, safety, house. And then music was a big part of that. Every night or every couple of nights, I would sit down and I would write about what was going on. And it was just, I don't know, like it didn't feel like a coping mechanism, but it felt like this really special thing that I could do. And I still do it. And it's like a friend kind of thing, like having a best friend that is this weird mystical sound making business. And it always, like, I played soccer growing up and I did physics and I done lots of different things, but music has always had a completely different place in my life than any of those things. And it's just something that I will always go back to, I think. And going on stage, I think, is kind of a different aspect of that. Like it's like you get to do all these beautiful, like, I don't know, soul sharing thing and storytelling, but like also you get to be a bit of a show off, which is sometimes fun.
So you're over the hump, but it's not like you getting up on stage for me from time to time, I feel people's eyeballs on me. You're over that.
Oh, not at all. I'm not over that at all. I did a TV show on Monday and there were like maybe 50 people in the room. And I haven't played in front of anyone in like 7 months. Yeah. And as soon as I started playing, I got the big like lump in my throat and my legs were a little bit like freaked and my fingers were like just shaky. And it's horrible sometimes. Like you just wonder why you do it, but then you get over that and it's fun.
You're so cool, and
you're so cool.
Appreciate that. It's great to speak with you to learn more about you. And like I said before, I think You're Great is a fantastic song. We even keep the end part of that song, the sort of behind the scenes studio snippet, you know? And that's fun to talk about on the radio. When you were
Yeah.
growing up, was there music always in the household?
Yeah, like neither of my parents are musical. Like my dad might argue with you, but he's he can play Smoke on the Water occasionally. Like if he thinks about it really hard, he can play Smoke on the Water. But yeah, they always had parties. Like I think from really, really young, my parents had like really late night parties, and my sister and I would always go upstairs and like turn the music off and get really cranky. And yeah, I think I remember being like 4 and going up and they were playing like Robbie Williams or something, and like my mum's friend Greg like picking me up and like trying to get me to dance, and me just being like, everyone should be in bed.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, so that kind, like in that way music was always around. I think my parents love music in their own ways. There was always CDs in the car, and
Right.
yeah, I was obsessed in that. And then it just didn't stop. Like I think like yeah, like a funny little thing was when I was being potty trained, we had this chart when I like pee in the toilet or whatever, I get a star. And then like if I got like 10 or whatever, I could pick a toy from Toys R Us.
Awesome.
And we went and I wanted a drum kit. And like, so mum, like little tiny Alex, I was just like running down the halls of the toy store, and I was like, that one. And I remember doing it, and I was just like, yeah, just obsessed. Like, and then I got a guitar. I always wanted to play trumpet because my friend Charlie had a trumpet, and then my friend Connor had a guitar, so I wanted to play guitar. And then, yeah, just like, I was so bad in school. Like, I was really not very good at music, but I just loved it. Just, yeah. And so by the time I left school, it was just like completely obsessed. Like, couldn't get me away from it, which was annoying.
Well, I have a daughter who is about potty training age, and not that we need incentive. Well, we might need some sort of incentive to get her going to the potty, but not that she needs any more toys, I guess, around here. She's absolutely spoiled. But I will tell you that there is music being played in our household all the time, mainly my own radio station, of course, but you know, some other artists as well. And it's always upbeat around here, and we're always playing some music that you could nod your head to and stuff. And we're all out there dancing as a family. And before COVID hit, like I brought her in for like when we had live sessions with bands in the studio, you know, just to kind of get her acclimated to that, you know, to live music and stuff like that. I just can't wait to get back to that. But that's really interesting of you to kind of drop that knowledge on us of when you were wee little
it's
kid.
so funny because I think kids like take in so much more than you think they do. And like, yeah, I have actual memories of being really like, yeah, that age. And so like, yeah, your daughter will carry that through her life, which is really just mind-blowing.
Yeah. Maybe one more question before we get another song and sort of wrap it up here. What other artists are you listening to these days, if any, and how are you consuming music? Are you streaming? Are you playing vinyl? Are you playing CDs, listening to the radio?
I do streaming and I do vinyl. I think like on this side you can see like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a vinyl player at the start of COVID, and I've always like kind of bagged out vinyl. I don't know why. I just thought it was so expensive, and like you can just. And then I started doing it, and now I have an issue. Like I need to stop.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've loved that. Like, especially I think in COVID, like you're just on your phone and you screen so much that it's kind of nice to just put music on and not have to think about it and have it go from this. I find it so cool how it's a needle. Like, I don't get that, but it's sick.
It's remarkable, isn't it? So what were the past maybe couple of records that you put on the turntable?
I put Positions by Gang of Youths, the Black Album by Jay-Z, and Leon Bridges something or other.
Oh, that's incredible. That's all
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so I guess we're going to sort of wrap it up here. Anything to touch on to the general public who might not be familiar with Alex the Astronaut?
No. Hello. How are
Hello.
you? Hope you're having a good day.
We covered a lot of bases, and again, we're happy to play your music on the air here in Southern California. Can't wait for us to do it in person one day.
Me neither.
Yeah. So what are we going to hear next?
We're going to hear Happy Song.
Fantastic. Alex the Astronaut, thank you.
Thank you.
We are 88.5 FM.
Night takes a sunny day, walk out the people race. I know everyone is missing someone, but it stopped me when I saw someone like you. They looked so much like you. Wave to the dog and smile to our neighbor. She's getting older, I don't wanna think of you. Think of the sunny day. Think of the sunny day. So I put some music on and I'm walking to a song that could set this street on fire. Strange how a song can do that sometimes. I'm feeling all alone, standing in the corner while my friends dance out of time. Out of time. Meet me at the old bar, we can keep the cold out. Everyone is dancing, singing, and we'll feel so safe inside. Watch the people spinning. You know that I love you, but I think it's over. Will it still be over? Always, I don't know. The lights are golden low. Tonight I need a happy song, happy song. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Have you seen her lately? Taylor's run away, she's happier. I saw her at the funeral for Jake's dad. He's quieter these days. He's quieter these days. But do you still love him? You told me that once. It's been months and he needs you. Just call him, you stop me. You ask if I miss her. Of course I still miss her. So please leave the music on. We'll slip into a song that can take us from our minds. Strange how a song can do that sometimes. I'm feeling all alone, standing in the corner while my friends dance out of time. Out of time. Meet me at the old bar, we can keep the cold out. Everyone is dancing, singing, and we'll feel so safe inside. Watch the people spinning. You know that I love you, but I think it's over. Will it still be over? Always, I don't know. The lights are golden low. Tonight I need a happy song, happy song. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Do you remember the cold winter breath? The lights in the trees sang for Christmas. The crowd on the steps was all so still and quiet. You put your hand in mine. My friends are calling, I have to go. We shouldn't be talking, it all ends in fighting. And I don't care who's right. Leave the phone in silence. Da 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 dum. Da 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 da. Meet me at the old bar, we can keep the cold out. Everyone is dancing, singing, and we'll feel so safe inside. Watch the people spinning. You know that I love you, but I think it's over. Will it still be over? Always, I don't know. The lights are golden low. Tonight I need a happy song, happy song. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.